Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl JoJo. Happy Thanksgiving, happy belated Thanksgiving, happy belated whatever to this video. I just want to let you guys know that I did record the last episode of Ready to Love. I think it was episode 5. Whatever episode came on, not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before, I recorded it on Thanksgiving Day. I got some time away from my family, and y'all, it was chopped and screwed. It was jumbled. I think I've just reached a point where I need to stop trying to record on my computer. I need an outside camera that I can bring and hook up to my computer because I just do too much on here to be trying to do videos as well. But I'm not a rich woman, so I don't know when that's going to happen. Right now, I'm on photo booth, and hopefully we won't have any problems. But I spent the better part of 2 hours doing my Greenleaf and my Ready to Love video for both of them to be pretty much a mess. And I was very disappointed, but I done got over it, y'all. I done got over it. So I'm here. I'll talk a little bit about last week's episode as I do this review. So it's kind of a mix of 5 and 6. Yeah, Shantae is gone. Okay, we don't have Shantae with us anymore. It's going to be a little sad because Shantae keeps it real and she don't mind going off on people when need be. But Alex just kind of let her know last episode, I don't know if I can trust you to be, there for me when I'm the most vulnerable, because you will go off on somebody. And I like the way that Shantae took it, even though she cried. And I almost felt like Alex wanted to be like, okay, no, I changed my mind. But I like that she thanked Alex for his honesty. And I think that is how we're going to get more men and more women to use that open dialogue and have that honest communication, is to just say, you know what, I appreciate your honesty. I might not agree with you, but I do appreciate your honesty. And I'm going to just move forward. We're not right for each other. Instead of, Melinda, the way she went off on Aaron. I'm telling you, y'all, if Melinda would have left that space for Aaron to take accountability, that conversation would have went a lot better. But I understand why she was mad. She felt played. She got played. So Nephew Tommy does end up meeting up with the women and y'all, Tiffany. When I watched last week's episode, I was hoping that everything Tiffany was doing was for the TV. Seems dark in here to me. I was hoping the things that Tiffany was doing was for television, just trying to spice the show up, acting like she had a problem with him, not texting her good morning or let me know I'm on your mind throughout the day, texting me good night. Like, I'm starting to think that she for real about this. And let me just tell you guys, all of that to me is child's play. I've never agreed with that. I've never felt like a person has to be texting you and calling you all day to let them know that, you were special, that you were on their mind. That's just not me. That's not how I roll. If other people want to do it that way, that's fine. But like Nephew Tommy said, get off of that phone and get a real date. Get some real quality time. So many things can get misconstrued when we're talking about text messages. And we also know that, the men are dating other people anyway. The men are dating other people when it comes to this show. But we'll talk a little bit more about Tiffany and that issue in a minute. Ashley, on the other hand, is having no problem with communication from Alex. So now you can see the differences there. And I'm pretty sure that Tiffany was concerned. But, I just think they need a little bit more fun time and it might get a little better. But she gonna have to quit tripping about this good morning and good night. And we gonna talk about it. Rita. I don't understand how Rita is still on the show. She's beautiful, she's bubbly, she's fun, but no. Rita, everybody is concerned about her old boyfriend, including Nephew Tommy. When is bruh coming back? And Rita is saying, well, any guy that I deal with in the future is just going to have to understand that we'll always be friends. We'll always be in each other's lives. And he's been trying to get back in, but I'm not letting him back in. I'm not letting that happen. Girl. Now, this ain't a life lesson with JoJo, because I feel like we all know this. When you are dealing with somebody, I don't care for how long, the best thing that you can do is cut it immediately. You have to cut it to give yourself time to heal, and then you can be friends. It's very difficult for that relationship to fizzle out into a friendship, but y'all still kind of got feelings for each other, but y'all trying to keep the friendship going, and one person is over it, one person is not. There's a chance y'all might end up back in bed together. It's just, to me, it's best to kind of go no contact for as long as you can. And then once you feel ready to get back into that friend mode, you can. But yeah, I don't think she's over it, you guys. And I don't think she's ever going to give herself time to get over it, because they're always going to be around each other. Now, when Tommy meets with the men, he applauds them for their honesty. And I just want to applaud the men for being more honest as well, because it's very difficult to be the bad guy or to feel like the bad guy. So good for them. But he also talks to them about giving the control back over to the women. You guys are going to be going on friend dates with these women and their girlfriends. Now, I was really glad that the power has shifted back over to the women, because I know that this show was set up for a real life dating situation. You know, we do outnumber men. It does happen. But I kind of was starting to feel like the men have this smorgasbord of women, and then the women are over here just trying to figure it out and, you know, try to get their attention and try to, like, I felt like the men were being coached on things that were applicable, like honest communication, being direct, good. And then the women just over here just kind of, you know, fumbling, you know, trying to get it together. And I don't really like that look, because what makes that different from, I thought this show was going to be something different about people who were serious and, you know, providing that direction. And to me, it just seems like the men are getting the guidance and the women are just, y'all figure it out. And I don't really like that. I wish there was kind of a female coach, because these women could use some coaching. I'm serious. Or even if Nephew Tommy could come in with them a little bit more than he does. But I don't know. I don't really like the way that it's set up for the women to constantly, you know, it's just like regular dating. And maybe they wanted it to be that way. There's just some things that I'm going to get to that the women could be coached on that would make this all just go a little bit better for everybody. But we gonna, y'all, there's so many things I got to say. So Tiffany goes on a date with Alex and two of her homegirls. They had some cooking place. They making chicken parmesan. I said, child, y'all could have paid me for that. Y'all could have came to my house and had y'all date. I would have showed y'all a little bit of chicken parmesan. That's one of my specialties. But they're in there and they're making the chicken, and Tiffany has brought two of her friends. They're a little bit older than her, but she knows they have her back. Now, was anybody else confused with the other friend? Did she want Alex? Because she was very, very, you know, bubbly and wanted a hug and all of this different stuff. I'm going to tell you what friend I like, though. That other friend, well, they were both kind of brown. They were both kind of dark skinned, but the other friend, I think she had on like a gray shirt. She was a little bit heavier. That friend I really like, because she kept it real with Tiffany. Now, the other friend was asking a lot of the funny questions. You know, are you a metrosexual? Do you communicate? Do you stand on your word? Do you do what you say you're going to do? Do you do this? You gonna treat my girl right? You know, all of the stuff that you would expect your girlfriend to ask, you know, in a way to just kind of see what a brother is about. And Alex did good. He answered all the questions. Alex is the definition of being smooth and it going over well. I believe that Alex is what Aaron tries to do. Of course, they like Alex. Alex is funny, tall, dark-skinned, you know. They like them. But when they sit down and they start talking about the communication part and how Alex hasn't really been, you know, texting her and calling her, and Tiffany isn't sure where his head is, the friend is just like, oh, well, girl, you can't really be concerned about that. I mean, you guys are dating. People are dating. And you can't expect somebody to be texting and calling you. I'm not taking up for him, but you can't really expect that all of the time. You know, it's just not realistic. Nobody has to do all of that in the very beginning stages. The friend, to me, kept it real with Tiffany when it came to the communication issue. And see, this is where I feel like the women could use some coaching, because y'all pull up for the life lessons with JoJo. When you are in a situation such as this, okay, and you're in the early stages of dating, the best thing that you can do is to occupy your time, okay? Just like real dating life, we do outnumber the men. They do have their pick a lot of times of the women, depending on what kind of dude they are. Everybody ain't got to pick. Most people do. The best thing that you can do is make sure that your time is occupied. Date other people. Until you get that promise of exclusivity, date other people. And I know folks don't like to do it. You like to keep your focus on one person. Well, fine. But just know that there are things that come with that. I say go out, date other people. If you're not going to date other people, hang out with your girls. So what, your girl got a family? I done been the third wheel in plenty of families. I shows up. I play life and taboo and jesters with the kids, spades, whatever we going to do. You know, I'm going to occupy my time. I'm not going to be sitting around waiting on you to text me during the afternoon, and you're not even my man. And I know you're seeing other people. She knows. So I was with the friend and what she told Tiffany, but Alex and Tiffany are going to have another conversation outside of this date about their communication problems. What I am glad that Tiffany realized is that they're missing the fun part. And I think that she knows that from looking at Ashley and how well they communicate, her and Alex. She understands that they're missing some of the fun. So good that you realize that. Go ahead and bring the fun times in and loosen up a little bit. But the homegirl, you follow her advice. Your other homegirl that's agreeing, well, if you care about somebody, y'all not at that point yet. When you get to that point, then you can be mad. You're not at that point yet. So that's just me. Y'all can tell me what y'all think, though. But that's just how I see it. Now, Alex ends up going on another date with Rita and her friends. And y'all, Rita got to go. I'm going to just jump straight to it. Rita got to go because when they went on the date, you know, the friends had plenty of good things to say. Everybody likes Alex, you know. There's always one friend that I'm not sure about that want Alex a little bit more. But when they have their date, Rita starts saying stuff like, well, I'm just not one of those women, you know, who feels like I have to control everything or feel like I have to talk to you all the time or feel like you got to be around all the time. Like I got things to do, you got things to do. And I was just like, No. See, now you pulling Shatavia moves. Why did she feel like it was okay to go and bring that up? She knew that that was one of Tiffany's issues. She knows that Alex is feeling Tiffany. I felt like she was trying to throw Tiffany under the bus a little bit. Like, the men don't do that to each other. So I don't understand why she felt the need to do it. But I guess it's a competition, y'all. I keep having to remember that. But Rita, girl, if you got to do all of that to make yourself look better in the eyes of Alex, then he must not have been feeling you that much in the first place. I just did not appreciate that, y'all. Rita's canceled for me. It seems to be feeling Rita. And if this show don't teach you nothing else, ladies, it should teach you how quick the attention wanes. It can switch to another person just like that. That's why I be telling women, you got to have more than just a pretty face, child. Erin went on a date with Stormy and her friends, and Erin is really feeling Stormy. So the friendship date with Stormy was easy because her friends are just like her. They're very easygoing. They did ask about his co-parenting situation and, you know, just was everything good? Was there no drama? And there's no drama. They all have wonderful things to say about Stormy to the point where Stormy almost started crying, but Stormy does seem like just a really good person. So that day went well, you guys. I really don't even have much to say. Now, when Erin goes to Topgolf, on the other hand, with Angel, and y'all, let's just go ahead and get it out the way because we don't have time to lie here. Erin don't like Angel no more. He is not feeling her. I knew that when they went salsa dancing, it was confirmed when they went to get them pedicures. They didn't have anything to say to each other. And for Topgolf, Erin is over an hour late. All right, so Angel's there with her two friends and a guy friend. And I just want to know, was that her brother or was that just a friend? If it was just a friend, I don't see why them two don't get together if he not married, because he was very protective of Angel and basically said, bro, you late. You know, what kind of mess is that? You gonna show up in here late? And then do you know that Erin had the nerve to come in there and say, oh, y'all already done got the party started. What did you expect them to do? Sit there and wait on you, be hungry, not have no drinks? And so the guy friend, when he walked in there, the guy friend said it was going horribly because you late. You don't keep a lady waiting, bro. What is that? What kind of dude is this? So him and Erin are kind of having, you know, some back and forth. You know, Evan's a little bit buffer and taller. So it was funny to watch. My friend is getting to it. How long has it been since you made time for Angel? What kind of time is being spent with Angel? How you really feeling about Angel? Are you really serious? I just want Angel to know, baby, Erin is not feeling you the same way that he was initially. And it's funny because last episode, I talked a little bit about, in my jumbled up review, how Angel, it almost seemed like she was, I don't want to say she was caping for Erin, but she went into the whole, you know, I have brothers, so I'm more understanding and I listen, and that's good. You know, having brothers does help with that. But she was going on about, you know, we're all learning stuff about ourselves in this process. And yes, that's true. And I just feel like Erin just has to do better with communication, and he's learning and he's growing. And girl, you doing all of that and he don't even really like you. You about to be eliminated next. If it ain't Rita first, you're going to be the next one out the door. Trust me on that. Michael goes out with Shatavia's friends, and Shatavia's friends are like Shatavia, child. They all in the business. They asking all kind of questions to the point. But Michael's like, if you don't get your thirsty behind back, y'all doing the most. Michael is funny. I really have grown to like Michael a lot. He loves his African garb, his African clothes. As soon as I see import underneath his name as his occupation, I always imagine that he import them clothes in and that's his business, but it could be wine or rugs or, you know, something else. But I always laugh when I think about that. The date didn't go bad. You know, Michael is always very direct and honest, so he was good with the questions. He just couldn't understand why the friends was doing the most. Michael, did he go out with Shay's friends? I don't believe that he did, but him and Shatavia's date does go well. So overall, I think the best dates were Michael and Alex's date. Aaron's date with Angel was so disrespectful. Like, I understand he was working, but that whole late thing, I was just like, nah, because if it would have been Stormy, he would have been there early. So, I just wasn't really feeling it. Shay and Ashley go out. They have a little girl time. Shay, I talked about her last week, y'all. I understand where she is coming from, and it's unfortunate because Michael and her really like each other. Like, have y'all ever seen two people that's really feeling each other and they can't even have a conversation without touching each other in some kind of way? When her and Michael talk, they're always touching hands, they're always touching each other's arm or touching each other's leg. It's very hard for them not to have some type of vibe when they're together. And I felt bad that I could just tell that this is not going to go where either of them wanted to go. Shay is not interested. She's more on the no with having children. And who can blame her, you guys? She's 44 years old. She got a grown son. And it sounded to me like Shay was left holding the bag, the diaper bag, when it came to her son and raised him alone. And, you know, I'm always in the minority when I say this, but as I've gotten older, I don't mind. I've never been one of those ones that was like, you know, a man can't have kids for me to date him. I actually preferred for them to already have a child. And I'm lying. It wasn't even when I got older. I've been like that since I was probably about 20, 21. But to me, it just always seemed like they had a better understanding of what it took to raise a child. Active parents. I'm not talking about the ones that, you know, get their child once a month. I'm talking about real active fathers, especially if they had joint custody of their child. They understood the practice and the hard work it takes to raise a child because, you know, when they had them, they was doing it by themselves. You know, if we were to ever have a child, they weren't going to assume that I had it on lock because they already knew how hard child rearing was alone. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Like, they already were in the habit of doing it. So they understood that it's not a one-person job, basically. And I think that sometimes when a man does not have children and they've only been taking care of themselves for so long, you know, don't have any younger siblings that they really have to tend to that much, or never really had to nurture anybody else, is sometimes they don't get how much that can really take out of you. The fact that Shay had postpartum. I mean, it's just a lot, y'all. I'm the oldest by 12 and 8 years. So I've been nurturing all my life. So it's not an easy feat at all. And my mom was single, got divorced, and I was the second parent in that household. So it's difficult, you guys. It's not a one-person job, and I think that Shay is scared to have to go through that again and to possibly have to go through it alone. And you can be alone even in a marriage raising your kids, because some people, you know, they'll just throw the responsibility at it and assume you got it, at you and assume you got it. So I felt Shay when she was talking about it. I think it's really unfortunate that her and Michael are not going to work out, but you guys, I understood. Alex and this communication thing, this is going to blow up. This is really going to blow up. Tiffany is just, she refuses to see it any other way. If you set an expectation, then you need to keep it. If you start off calling me and texting me all the time, then you need to keep doing that. And while I understand her frustration, you guys, I'm a woman. I have been there. But like we talked about, okay, just now in my life lessons with JoJo, if you occupy your time, you don't even have to be worried about all of that. Yes, men drop off in consistency. Yes, they don't always text and call the way that we want. But until we get that promise of it's me and you, it's not even nothing to be tripping over, because it happens so often. The best thing you can do is make sure you're still dating. Make sure you're putting yourself out there. Make sure you're keeping your options open, because when you put all of your eggs in one basket, it leads to this type of behavior that Tiffany is doing. So, oh gosh, y'all, I felt so bad for it. And Alex he trying to give it to her nicely, but I can tell it's going to come to a head eventually when it comes to this whole communication thing. Tiffany, girl, I don't want you to find yourself eliminated, because I think y'all really liked each other, but it ain't going how it was going initially. We'll just see what happens. I hope I didn't forget anything. You guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys for the next one. Bye.